Jadeja, obviously, so he's injured his knee, but obviously he's ruled out for the Asia Cup. Yeah, he's under the care of the medical team. He's going to see the doctors. He's going to see the experts, and yeah, the World Cup is a fair way away, so we don't want to jump to any conclusions and rule him out or rule him in. We'll see how it goes. This is part of sport. People get injured. It's part of our job to try and manage them, manage how it goes, and a lot will depend on the rehab and the severity of the injury, and we'll see how it goes. There's no, I don't want to rule him out, or I don't want to, make too many comments until we have a much clearer picture and we have a better idea, especially a World Cup's almost 8 weeks away, or 6 or 7 weeks away from now. It's probably true of one or two other teams as well, who are probably missing one or two key players, and that can happen. It doesn't stop us from preparing or using this tournament as a really good opportunity to build and grow our team, for the World Cup. And of course, it gives us the opportunity, I guess, in a lot of ways, to look at other players who potentially vying for spots or who are in contention and looking for one or two spots, and to see how they perform, and gives other people some opportunities as well. And then of course we know that once hopefully guys like Bumrah and Harshal and Jadeja and stuff, if they're back, then as and when we can respond to that and we can react to that. But if for some reason, unfortunately, if they have to miss out, then we've developed some other players, and we've tried to build a backup, and we've tried to build a group, and that's really been our endeavor right through the whole the last whatever months that we've been in here. Is that trying to just build a little bit bigger pool of players, a bigger group of players that can step in, because as we've seen, in times like this, obviously with the kind of challenges we've had with COVID as well, and with injuries. You've got to have backups, you've got to have people who can step in any given situation. If possible, you've got to try and create those kind of squads, and when people miss out to injury, it gives us a chance to build that squad and grow that squad. Of course, we would love to have our guys with the experience and our best players playing all the time, but it might not happen.
To play 4 matches in the next 8 days, and so under these challenging circumstances, from the point of view of workload management, how are they looking at this?
No, I think the key here is to I think we're well prepared. We've really prepared our team well. We've looked to manage all the workload that we possibly can. We're not using this tournament unless, of course, there's an injury or there's a niggle or someone needs to be kept out. We've always come here wanting to play our best possible squad, or the best possible 11 that we can select. So next 4 games as well, depending on who's available, and we will be looking to play our best sides. There's not going to be any workload management over the next 3 or 4 days, unless of course it's forced upon us, like for example Jadeja. Other than that, no, we're looking to play every single game to win it and try and win this tournament and do the best that we can, and we'll have time after that to manage the workloads. And from now on in, I think leading into the World Cup, we really want to be playing our best squad as and when possible.
This is Satish here from Gulf News. This is not just a Asia Cup, I'm talking about general cricket, where these days in T20 and limited overs cricket, the finger spinners, especially the off spinners, are playing a very limited role. What is your take on that? Because by the time you played, the off spinners were the one who are playing a big role in the shorter formats.
Yeah, I wouldn't say, off spinners, they aren't, obviously we're lucky to have one of the world's best in our side. So we've obviously got someone in our squad, in our larger squad, who's in terms of Ash, who's probably one of the best in the world, and we're lucky to have that. But yes, I don't think there are too many. I thought the spinner from Hong Kong had bowled brilliantly against us. He bowled up front, and then he bowled a couple of overs at the death. So I thought he had a really good game. But yeah, you're right. Not many people are playing the off spinners. They're going to prefer sort of the leg spinners. Wrist spinners have obviously become very valuable in the T20 format for obvious reasons. The fact that they can spin it both ways, doesn't expose them to the left-handers or the right-handers as much as, say, the finger spinners do. And yeah, maybe it's just a cycle, maybe it's just a phase, but certainly, I'm trying to think around. I think Sri Lanka's got, Bangladesh plays Mehdi Hassan a little bit around the squads. Not really. We played the West Indies recently. They didn't have an off spinner.
से आपने कोच भी बने हैं, उसके बाद से जो भी आप लोगों ने पॉलिसी बनाई, प्लेयर्स को चांसेस दिए, नियरली एवरीथिंग हैज वर्क। 15 चाहिए, आपके पास लगभग 30 प्लेयर का पूल है। ऐसे कोच क्या ये डिफिकल्ट चैलेंज हो जाता है कि अल्टीमेटली वर्ल्ड कप है तो 30 में से 15 बेस्ट 15 और ऑब्वियसली सबको आप खुश नहीं रख सकते हैं। तो एज ए कोच आप कैसे कम्युनिकेट करते हैं टीम कैसे, क्योंकि आपको पता है कि एक एक स्लॉट के लिए आपके पास दो है, सब उतने ही अच्छे हैं, तो किसी को हटाना चाहे प्लेइंग 11 हो या स्क्वाड से है, उस चैलेंज को एज ए कोच आप कैसे मैनेज करते हैं?
देखिए, एक अच्छा जैसे हम कहते हैं अच्छा एक प्लेजेंट हेडेक टू हैव। जैसे आपने सही कहा, हम लोगों ने पूरी कोशिश की है डेप्थ इंक्रीज करने की हर पोजीशंस के लिए। शायद एक बैकअप अगर हम कर सकते हैं तो हर पोजीशन के लिए बैकअप होना चाहिए हमारे पास, क्योंकि किसी को भी इंजरी हो सकती है या तो हम लोगों ने पूरी कोशिश की है उसके बारे में। और सही आपने ज़रूर कहा कि कुछ ऐसे लड़के हैं यहाँ पे जो हमारे 15 में नहीं है यहाँ पे, या इस टीम में नहीं है, जिन्होंने बहुत अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस किया है हमारे लिए, बहुत टीम के लिए भी खेला है, बहुत अहम रोल निभाया है हर साल में। पर वो लोग भी जानते हैं कि सिर्फ 15 लोग खेल सकते हैं और 15 लोग ही जा सकते हैं वर्ल्ड कप के लिए। तो फिर हमारा दायित्व बनता है, हम कम्युनिकेट करते हैं उनके साथ, हम उनको जितना हम एक्सप्लेन कर सके हैं। जैसे आपने सही कहा कि हर चीज में हम सबको आप खुश नहीं रख सकते, क्योंकि सिर्फ 15 लोग खेल सकते हैं और या 15 लोग वो वर्ल्ड कप स्क्वाड में रहेंगे।
After that West Indies series, now when you're building up to the World Cup, do you really take conditions and opponents into account when you're building a team or playing combinations, or you are only thinking about the Australia World Cup, the conditions there?
No, I mean, we are here to play the Asia Cup. We are absolutely focused on trying to play these conditions and do this. And the whole purpose of trying to build a balanced squad, a squad that is actually should be able to play in all kinds of conditions. You should have players in your 15 that irrespective of the conditions, you've got to try and be able to play the best 11. So, I think that's the effort to build the kind of squad that we have, is that we want to build a squad that can play on any kind of conditions. So, yeah, we may succeed, we might succeed in every area, one or two areas. I think, you always might not get a perfect, you might not get a perfect selection of skills in your 15, but the effort is always there to get most bases covered, and that's what we're trying to do. But here, I mean, no, we're looking at tomorrow's game specifically at the Dubai Cricket Stadium and looking at those conditions. What is the kind of team we need to pick? We're not, obviously at the back of your mind you've got Australia, but no, the focus is purely on tomorrow and trying to do well tomorrow.
हमने देखा काफी लास्ट तक वो मैच गया था, बट टॉकिंग अबाउट द फास्ट बॉलिंग, पाकिस्तान की बॉलिंग काफी ज्यादा मजबूत नजर आई थी भारत से, तो क्या वो वरी साइन है? और अवेश की कोई अपडेट?
मैं ठीक है, उनकी बॉलिंग में भी अच्छी बॉलिंग की थी, मैं नहीं मानूंगा। ऑफ कोर्स वेरी गुड बॉलिंग साइड एंड उन्होंने अच्छी बॉलिंग की थी, पर हम लोगों ने भी उनको 147 तक रिस्ट्रिक्ट करने के लिए भी काफी अच्छी बॉलिंग की थी। तो मैं मानूंगा कि हाँ, नंबर में कभी कभी दिखेगा कि 145 किसी ने डाला है या 147 किसी ने डाला है, पर एंड ऑफ द डे बॉलिंग एनालिसिस इज द मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट थिंग। अगर आप 135 पे डाल रहे हो या 145 पे डाल रहे हो या 125 पे डाल रहे हो, स्विंग कर रहे हो नहीं स्विंग कर रहे हो, स्किल्स यू आर जज्ड बाय द रिजल्ट्स यू प्रोड्यूस, एंड bowling analysis of our fast bowlers was also pretty good. So, I would respect their bowling, certainly, but I'm very confident that we have a very good bowling attack as well, that produces results. Might not be as, I want to use a word, but I can't use that word. Might not be very, the word I wanted is coming out of my mind, but I can't use it. So, but yeah, anyway, yeah, so the point I'm trying to make is that,
exuberant would be the word then.
Not exuberant, no, it's a little bit.
फर्स्ट मैच में जब पंत को टीम में नहीं देखा तो लोगों को थोड़ी सी हैरानी हुई, तो क्या आप ये बता पाने की स्थिति में है कि इज डीके द फर्स्ट चॉइस कीपर इन T20?
No, again, there's no, again, we play the situations, we play the conditions, we play the opposition, what we feel on the day, so there's no such a thing as a first choice playing 11 or we've said that only this is the first 11 and this is the 11 we play for every single game, every single condition. So that will vary, that will change according to the situation. On that day against Pakistan on the first, we felt that Dinesh was the right choice for us. And like I said earlier to an earlier question, it's always going to be difficult to leave out anyone. I mean, if we play Rishabh and leave out DK, then there are going to be a lot of people upset with that. And we play somebody else, there are going to be people upset with that. So, we can't rely on that, and we're not, we honestly don't pay much attention to that. We focus on just trying to pick what we think is the best 11, and with the intelligence that we have in our group, we're pretty confident that we take all of those things into consideration and have a little bit of a squad culture in our side, in the sense that we believe that we've got a really good squad of 15, and anyone in that 11 based on the combinations can play. And sometimes good players will miss out, and players that people feel should play will miss out, but it's just the way it is.
विराट के बारे में बात की जाए कि भारत की तरफ से सबसे ज्यादा रन उनके हैं, लगातार हम देख रहे हैं, आपसे बात कर रहे हैं, तो विराट के बारे में आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे? हमने नेट सेशन में भी देखा, काफी आपसे बात हो रही थी, तो विराट के परफॉर्मेंस से आप कितना खुश हैं एज अ कोच, और आपसे क्या बात हुई थोड़ा इंडिविजुअली अगर आप खुद बता सके तो?
बहुत टाइम लगेगा यहाँ पे। देखिए, पहली बात जो है, जब प्लेयर और कोचेस के बीच में जो बातें होती है, वो मैं यहाँ के मीडिया में तो बात नहीं करूँगा। तो बस जाहिर बात है, वो कोई कोच नहीं करेगा, वो कोई कोच नहीं करेगा ऐसा। वो जो पर्सनल चीजें होती हैं वो ऑलवेज होती हैं। हम ये भी बात कर रहे थे, खाना वाना कहाँ अच्छा मिल रहा है दुबई में, तो बहुत अच्छे रेस्टोरेंट भी पता है यहाँ के, तो मेरे को थोड़ा वो भी एडवाइस कर रहे थे, इधर जाओ उधर जाओ। पर उनकी परफॉर्मेंस से बहुत, लास्ट मैच में बहुत अच्छा खेले और काफी खुश हैं। वो भी आ रहे हैं 1 महीने के बाद, थोड़ा ब्रेक में भी आ रहे हैं, तो it's nice to see that he's come back fresh, and he's he's really looking forward to playing every game. Not that he wasn't looking forward to playing sometimes with Virat. I think he's just one of those guys who's always on. So it's not that earlier he was not. But it's just nice. I'm glad he's had the opportunity to have the break and just come back refreshed and relaxed. And it's good he's got a chance to bat in the middle and play a couple of games where he's got time to spend in the middle. And hopefully from here on in, he can keep
experimental when you get into the final World Cup mode.
I'm not really experimenting. I know why people feel we're experimenting. I mean, like, if people get injured, then I have to, try out other guys and play other people. And at times when conditions dictate us to play different players or to play things, I think we're just smart enough to be able to do that. Certain oppositions force us to play slightly different combinations or use different skill sets to be able to beat them. Then we do that. But we're not really actively going out and thinking of this as some kind of experiments. Of course, over the course of the last 6-8 months, we've had to talk about whether it's been workload management or whether it's been due to injuries and illnesses. We've had to rotate players. We've had to look at an opportunity to try and build that bench strength. But yeah, for us, I think we came here thinking that the Asia Cup would be the kind of the final piece for us, and we would, from here we would have our squad. Obviously, things have, we have to react, right? Sometimes people are injured. Bumrah's not here, Harshal's not here. Jadu's obviously got injured after the first game. So then this might not be exactly our same squad that would go to the World Cup, right? Because if Bumrah's fit, and he certainly is a walk-in for us. As is Harshal as well. So so I think we just have to play with the kind of squad that we have at the moment, and we're not experimenting too much with it.
सर मीडिया से आपने एक भी सवाल नहीं। लास्ट क्वेश्चन इन इंग्लिश बोल रहा हूँ,
फिर उर्दू में।
Last 8-10 months.
आपने भी उर्दू में किया था, कुछ तो नहीं।
हिंदी में।
And there's a set of guys who have done that. Now we have a top 3 which is playing together for the first time this year in this tournament. So how have they bought into this? Because what have you seen of them? We have only seen a couple of matches.
Yeah, I think everyone's bought into it. We've talked about playing positive cricket and playing that, but also being smart as well as being positive. I think sometimes you've got to also ensure that I think it's not so much about. It's about ensuring that you sort of get par plus scores depending on what the par is on that particular wicket and in those conditions. I think that's really important. We don't want to be. We at least don't want to be the team that falls below par in particular game. And that par can change, right? On a wicket that's very flat and has small boundaries, or a par might be 200. On some other wicket, the par might be 150. We've seen some pretty challenging wickets in this tournament, and probably it's not 200 run games that's par in these tournaments. Whatever the conditions that we are faced in front of us, we want to ensure that we are par or par plus. Ideally par plus. You always want to be batting first. You want to be par plus. Of course, when you're chasing a score that's in front of you, irrespective whatever the team sets for you. So you want to be par plus, and honestly the guys are.
आपस में खेल रहे हैं, तो जो हम लोग जर्नलिस्ट बात करते हैं, टीवी पे बात होती है, एक्स क्रिकेटर बात करते हैं कि लंबे अरसे बाद खेलते हैं तो वो प्रेशर बिल्ड होता है, तो ये क्लोज मैचेस का होना प्लेयर्स के लिए प्रेशर रिलीज करता है?
नहीं, अच्छा होता है ना, कभी कभी आप ये गेम जरूर जो होते हैं, मतलब एज अ प्लेयर आप इतना प्रेशर नहीं लेते हैं मैच के ऊपर. हमारे लिए तो ऑब्वियसली एक मैच ही है, हम लोगों को मैच खेलना है. जीतेंगे तो बहुत अच्छी बात है, हारेंगे तो श्रीलंका के अगेंस्ट तो खेलना ही पड़ेगा. जिंदगी तो आगे चलती ही रहेगी. तो पर जरूर एक मतलब हम लोगों को भी पता है कि अच्छी टीम है पाकिस्तान, बहुत मतलब एक चैलेंजिंग मैच होता है पूरे, मतलब इट विल बी अ पैक्ड स्टेडियम, इट विल बी, सो देयर इज ऑलवेज एन एज टू दीज गेम्स, एंड इट्स मतलब बहुत अच्छी बात होती है ऐसे गेम खेलने के लिए, क्योंकि आप ऐसे गेम में आप टेस्ट होते हैं, आपकी टीम टेस्ट होती है, आपके जो कभी कभी एज अ कोच आपके जो कभी सवाल होते हैं आपकी टीम के बारे में, उसके आपको आंसर्स मिलते हैं ऐसे मैचेस में, क्योंकि थोड़े हाई प्रेशर गेम्स होते हैं, ऑपोजिशन बहुत अच्छी होती है. जैसे भाई साहब ने कहा यहाँ की पाकिस्तान की बॉलिंग तो बहुत अच्छी थी, तो इसलिए हम लोगों को पता है कि एक बहुत बड़ी चैलेंज होगी हमारे लिए और हमको अच्छा खेलना पड़ेगा. तो ऐसे गेम हम ज्यादा ऐसे मतलब जो हाई प्रेशर गेम होते हैं हम अगर खेलेंगे तो टीम हमारी अच्छी होगी. तो और ऐसे टूर्नामेंट में सब टीम अच्छे होते हैं, और ऐसे टूर्नामेंट्स हमारे लिए बहुत अच्छी बात है. वर्ल्ड कप
बात करें शाहीन अफरीदी, इंडिया के लिए टफ होता है, तो पिछले मैच में मैंने सीम शाह ने थोड़ा सा बड़ा बॉल अच्छा किया और उस वजह से जो उनको क्रैम्प्स वगैरह भी आ गए थे, तो अभी कोई स्पेशल प्लान है नसीम शाह के लिए या फास्ट बॉलिंग के लिए?
देखिए, उन्होंने भी अच्छी बॉलिंग जरूर की है हमारे बैट्समैन के खिलाफ, पर हमारे बैट्समैन ने भी बहुत रन किए पाकिस्तान के खिलाफ. रोहित शर्मा हो या विराट कोहली हो, बड़े टूर्नामेंट्स में भी काफी हमारे प्लेयरों ने रन जरूर किए पाकिस्तान के खिलाफ. तो हमारे टीम में भी काफी क्वालिटी है, और नसीम शाह ने बहुत अच्छी बॉलिंग की थी लास्ट मैच में. पर हमारा मानना जरूर ये है कि हमारे पास अच्छे बल्लेबाज हैं जो उनको काउंटर कर सकते हैं, उनके खिलाफ अच्छा खेल सकते हैं, और जो भी अच्छा खेलेगा उस दिन वो अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस करेगा. कुछ दिन पाकिस्तान के बॉलर अच्छे करेंगे, उनके बैट्समैन भी अच्छा कर सकते हैं, और कुछ दिन हमारे बैट्समैन अच्छा करेंगे. तो ये ऐसी बात नहीं है, हम हमारे ऊपर फोकस करते हैं ज्यादा, पाकिस्तान के ऊपर या पाकिस्तान के पास क्या है, उनकी बॉलिंग क्या है, उसके ऊपर ज्यादा फोकस हम नहीं करते हैं. हमारी जो प्रैक्टिस है, हमारी जो प्रिपरेशन है, अगर हम ये मानते हैं अगर हम अपने प्लेयरों को अच्छी तरीके से प्रिपेयर कर सकते हैं और उनको अच्छे स्टेट ऑफ माइंड में ला सकते हैं, तो हम कोई भी हो, पाकिस्तान हो, ऑस्ट्रेलिया हो, इंग्लैंड हो, श्रीलंका हो, बांग्लादेश हो, किसी के साथ भी हम अच्छा कर सकते हैं.
राहुल, मला असं विचारायचं होतं की तू प्लेयर म्हणून जे होता तेव्हा तुझ्या विकेटवरती प्राइस टॅग लावायचा, विकेट द्यायची नाही सर. आता T20 मध्ये कदाचित असं सांगायला लागेल की विकेटची काढून बिंदास लाव, आणि काय काय शॉट्स जेव्हा यंगस्टर्स मारतात तेव्हा तो चेहऱ्यावरची एक्सप्रेशन वेगळी असतात. एक कोच म्हणून हे सगळं कसं एक्सप्लेन करशील?
I think it was incredible. I'm just watching Surya Kumar Yadav play that innings the other day. It was phenomenal, and I think he's done that, so many times now. And I think that's you're right. I mean, obviously, 2020 as a format जो है उसमें 10 विकेट हैं आपको 20 ओवर के लिए, तो ऑब्वियसली आप ज्यादा रिस्क ले सकते हैं, आप अलग अलग शॉट्स खेल सकते हैं. तो ऑब्वियसली ये देखने को भी मिलता है. You see more creativity, you see more. You see so much audacity at times in the way the players play, and it's marvels. I mean, obviously, someone who's not played that much of sort of T20 cricket, just to see the way the game has evolved over the last 10 years, and I think starting in about 2005, I think when it first started in England, 4 or 5, and then the IPL and the other leagues coming up all over the world, just to see the level of skill, both in bat and ball. The way the game is evolving and changing is quite phenomenal. And every World Cup to World Cup, we start seeing people with new skills, new tactics, new strategies.
सबसे पहले मिलेगी क्रिकेट की हर खबर, कंट्रोवर्सी और इनसाइड स्टोरी पर भी होती है हमारी नजर. क्रिकेटर्स की पर्सनल लाइफ से लेकर इंटरव्यूज तक हम रखते हैं आपको हमेशा अपडेट। इसीलिए हमारे YouTube चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करना मत भूलें, और अगर आप हमें Facebook पर देख रहे हैं तो हमारे Facebook पेज को भी फॉलो कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि क्रिकेट का मतलब है News 24 स्पोर्ट्स।